Hi there, this is Stephanie Lowe, and I'm a member of the National TLB team. I lead a team overseeing the development of and implementation supports for our organization's leadership development model and approach. And over the past few months, I've been working with this incredible group of national regional staff on our 2020 core member roadmap, which you are just minutes away from being able to download and use. But before you do that, I just want to share a bit of the backstory of the what and why before you dig in. So what was the need? The need for the roadmap started before the pandemic and it accelerated amidst the pandemic. Heading into FY20 last year, coming off of our organization's research to inform our org strategy, our stakeholders saw a clear need for more consistency and cohesion in the core member experience and more clarity on what core members could expect in their development. And so we set out to research and draft a core member roadmap. Our thinking was that we would take 2 years to develop and then test with regions and evolve a shared roadmap that could be used next year. But amidst the pandemic, the need accelerated. Program teams were looking for shared direction and guidance to inform their work this year in light of really major changes, like our summer training being centralized and being virtual for our teachers, and our teachers having a scaled back teaching component or interaction with students, as well as the uncertain trajectory and impact to the school year this year and what that might require of our core members and staff. These factors led us to start to work on as a national team things like ongoing incoming core member insights, induction recommendations, as well as our summer virtual teacher training. Building off of that, we knew and our hearing regions ask questions like these. What will be uniquely required of our core members in this school year? What should we focus on with our core members by the first day of school this year? What should be similar or different in our in-service supports? Among many, many, many other questions that are on you all's minds and you all are already starting to answer. And so the national program team coordinated around 3 work streams to build off of the work of summer virtual teacher training. The work streams are 1, the core member roadmap, which seeks to answer the question, what are the outcomes we will most need to prioritize for core member development and by when? 2, the core member in-service supports priority team, which asks the question, how will we need to redefine the in-service support of our teachers in their first year, with a specific emphasis on the first 90 days. And workstream 3, which seeks to answer the question, how will we build the skills and capabilities of our field staff to deliver on our promises to core members? And the idea is that these 3 things would work together. The core member roadmap would be our anchoring recommendation on what core members develop and by when this year. A project team would develop a recommendation on core member in-service supports this year. Another project team working closely with us and the CM supports project team would evolve the current existing staff supports like HOP calls, newsletters, the Slack channel, as well as a lot of learning experiences and communities to address the unique needs of this year. And all of that in combination with your regional leadership and judgment would support us in ensuring that our core members are accelerating student learning in the backdrop of the pandemic, and that we are cultivating core members in the short and long term who are strong, resilient, culturally relevant teachers and leaders. So the work of these project teams will build directly on the work of summer virtual teacher training so that there's consistency and cohesion, and we will ongoing engage in learning, iteration, and improvement. So now I'm going to share a little bit more about what specifically the roadmap is, and then invite you to scroll through this platform to learn a bit more and to be able to download the actual tools. So the roadmap specifically is our organization's point of view and recommendation on what outcomes we should prioritize and by when. You'll see a student level in there as well as a core member level. You'll also see that we've streamlined all of the frameworks and strands of development that we have held dearly so that we can simplify all of these things into a more narrow set of accessible concepts and language. The tools are also meant to be relevant to this moment in time, and we will evolve them based on changing context and realities. We're hoping that this roadmap is an anchoring document to give direction to regions looking for a starting place to update their program arc this year, to our national redesign and recommendation efforts for core member supports and staff supports, to our organizational work on measurement, and to our national and regional work on core member facing tools that we can craft so that core members can be clear on how they're doing their development and drive their own reflection and improvement. The roadmap is not meant to be a compliance-driven requirement or checklist. Instead, it's an org-wide informed opinion and starting point that must work in combination with your regional context and judgment. And we expect that regions will check their program and existing tools against the roadmap, but that they will use it in different ways depending on your context and your need. And so without further ado, I welcome you to scroll through and learn more.